How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews with the beer I've been wanting to not just try, but review for pretty much a whole year now. That would be Departed Souls Brewing. It is their trash can banger. This is a India Pale Ale with milk sugar. And is 5.4% alcohol by volume, and it is dry hopped with 2,017 Gs per barrel of hops. It says in the bottom here. Departed Souls. I've had some of their beers over the years. They're from Jersey City, so I am privy to getting their cans. Some hits, some misses for me, but I've dug more often than not the stuff that I've had from them. But it's like weird. Like, I get some of their stuff around me, but I don't. I have to go deeper into Jersey to find it. Regardless, that's where I was today. I was a little deeper into Jersey, and I've been looking for, like I said, for this beer for a year. Obviously, if you don't know what's gone here, they're basically making fun. Dually so, making fun of the Houston Astros, because this is the Astros old jerseys thing, and it's a trash can banger because they are the worst cheaters in the history of baseball, in my opinion, and most people's opinions. And Departed Souls decided to make this beer to kind of have fun with their cheating ways, because cheaters technically prosper because somehow they kept their World Series from being overt scumbaggy cheaters. But anyway, this came out pretty much right before last season in baseball. Well, that's right when the pandemic started. So, there wasn't an ability for me to get this. I think this is brewery only, and it still pretty much is at this time. And there was no baseball. There was, but you couldn't go to the stadium and you couldn't boo the Astros. It was kind of the biggest thing I was looking forward to. Like, literally, the pandemic helped the Astros more than anybody else last year. Anyway, so this year rolls around and they continue to rotationally offer this beer, and I still can't see it. It doesn't come on the shelves till today. I stopped by a local shop and I was like, they had a single. Like, I went to this, not so local, but, about 40 minutes down the road for me on the highway, getting closer to Jersey City. There's a bottle shop. I pop in every now and then, especially if I have to go on like this little work trip that I have to do because it's on the way. And I popped in there and I picked up 2 4-packs of beer. I'm going out, and when I go out, there's always a little singles cooler that I peek in case there's super high ABV stuff I only want 1 can of. Looking, there's one of these sitting there. I'm like, yes, finally. And then I went to go check out, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, do you have 4-packs of this? And I actually went in the back, and they did. So I got a 4-pack of it, so I'm very excited. Long review. Actually, this is not even going to be a review. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to love this beer, regardless of how it tastes. I'll still tell you if I don't like how it tastes, but I love it. Everything about it, because goddamn, the Astros are pieces of shit. Like, the biggest pieces of shit ever in the history of baseball. Like, huge. I'm a Yankees fan. We're usually, like, a thing everybody hates. No, everybody hates these MFers, man. Goddamn, I hate them. It's been so great seeing, like, people in the stands. I know COVID's very real and it needs to be taken seriously, but to see the Yankees fans boo the shit, to see Yankee fans get, like, their costumes taken off and then to be thrown out of Yankee Stadium because of how violently they've booed and jeered these sons of bitches has made me nothing but epically fantastic. So, let's crack into it, because this is going to be a 19-hour review. It's relatively fresh, about a month old. How do you know? There's no date in the can. I actually wrote Departed Souls. I was like, listen, I'm like, how old is this? Can I figure it out? And they're like, we don't date cans. They're like, the machine costs a lot. And I'm like, no, I get that. I'm not making fun of you guys or banging on you guys about the thing. I'm just kind of curious to see if I could see if it's relatively fresh. Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, where'd you get it? Because we don't even really distribute it. And I'm like, this place. And it's like, oh, that's definitely from the April batch, which is early April. We are in early May. So here we go. Well, what's today's date? Mid-May. Yeah, the 20th. So, label-wise, one of my favorite labels in the history of labels. Beer-wise, looks nice. You're talking about 5.4%. It looks much, much darker than what you expect from a typical kind of lower-ish ABV hazy. Rich orange core, bit of cataracty edges on it. It had a big, huge, creamy, fluffy head on it, but it had a nice head on it. But this dude talked way too much, so now it's not really there anymore. Let's get a nose. That smells pretty damn good. There is a sharp green. Like, not overt, like hop burning, but there's a nice green kind of stinging the nostrils. there's not a big lactose component to this beer as far as aromatically. You can tell there's something there that is different than what you typically get off, like a malted kind of sweetness kind of thing. But it's not like that big vanilla-esque kind of milkshakey thing you would get on a nose typically. And there's this rich kind of run the gamut of fruits from your citrus to tropical to stone fruit. Leaning more citrus than anything else, but it smells quite nice. It smells way bigger than its 5.4% actually is. Let's dive in. Cheers. That's pretty fun, honestly. Really aggressive beer. Like, really aggressive. Like, for how this drinks, the way the hops come off, there definitely had to be a decent, big, aggressive level of hop burn with this beer when it originally came out. It's being tempered slightly by that soft touch of milk sugar, but it's still kind of there. So this having a little bit of time on it, I think, is a good thing. Nice, dense, full mouthfeel. Big hop presence. That fruit comes through. Definitely a little bit more candy, jelly, gummy wormy kind of sweetness to it. But again, you get this kind of cap of this little bit of fluffy softness. That little bit of mouthfeel that you get from lactose keeps that kind of sharper sweetness kind of holding, running away with it. Get back to the point I was going to say before I forgot saying, drinks way above its weight class. I drink this blind. I assume I'm drinking something closer to 7%, not something 5.4%. So it drinks more like a 7% beer. The mouth feels cool. It's dense, but at the same time, it's weirdly kind of thin. I know that's kind of like, it has to be one or the other, dude. They can't mutually exist in the same universe. Well, apparently you can cheat your way through multiple seasons of baseball and still retain a World Series. So anything's fucking possible. And what we have going on here is not a failure to communicate. There's a density to it, but the finish is thin. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I like this. This actually might be a little bit too warm. I usually like my hazies right in the mid-40s. I'm guessing this is probably pushing 50, almost to 50. It was in a fridge, journey home, cooler bag. It's not super cold, but I can see this maybe being a little bit better if it's just a skosh colder to kind of bring down that little bit of greenness on it. But again, I keep having to remind myself I'm dealing with something that's 5.4%, not something that's 6%. So it's just kind of cool how aggressive this comes off at that lower ABV. It's almost like a really good beer in a sense that, like, when I want like a huge banger kind of presence, I want to use the word banger, but I don't want those ABVs. This is definitely going to definitely kind of foot that bill. This is a tasty beer. Is it going to rewrite the rules of the 5.4% hazy IPA I love so much? No. Is it going to be Mount Rushmore level of that thing? No. It's eating towards the top, but the ones that I really dig on just do a little bit better for me. But it's a really tasty beer. Apart from the actual, like, F you Astros, you cheaters suck, worst people in the history of baseball kind of thing aside, it's a really tasty beer. And that goes kind of a long way to even liking this beer that much more. So yeah, I dig it. Aggressive fruity hop presence, undersweetened. That's your 5.4% at play. The mouthfeel, like I said, has this kind of density to it, but it finishes thin. I assume that's your lactose bringing a little bit of mouthfeel, but just kind of not keeping up to the tail end of things. And just how aggressive it is. Like I keep hearkening back to that, and how impactful it is that it's low ABV is probably the best thing about this beer, other than it making fun of the worst cheaters in the history of baseball ever. What is it? Is it 16 2019 Houston Astros? It's the whole thing. It doesn't matter. Goddamn cheaters. Oh, man, I hate them so much. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Is it one of the better lower ABV hazies I've had as of late? Yes. Value and availability on this sucker. I don't remember what I paid. I think I got kind of whacked for it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they charge a little bit more for this, but I think I probably paid closer to like $16, $17 for a 4-pack. There was no price. It was a singles price, and I was like, I don't care. I'm buying it. And I'll leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like big, aggressive hazies that is not overly sweet, but at a low ABV, and you hate goddamn cheaters and scumbags, and you like those both mutually exclusively, you're going to love this beer. So there you go. A little review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif. Want to see me, hear me doing podcasting stuff. Guess what? I'm going to post this tonight. I am. I'm going to post this tonight. And guess what I posted yesterday? A podcast. I syndicated on YouTube. You probably saw that. But if you didn't, go into the old podcast. You see me interviewing Zach Ross from Marlowe Artisan Ales. Very good stuff. Very fun stuff. I already have 5 podcasts in the can, so we're going to keep this chugging along, so go check that out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying Cheaters Not Prospering. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.